Not all spices are good for you. Some are secretly causing inflammation. Here are 4 spices you should avoid, and 4 that actually help your body. 8. Chili powder blends with additives. Looking into the future, chili powder blends will remain popular in kitchens everywhere, but they can also be a surprising contributor to inflammation, particularly when they're the processed, store-bought varieties. Pure chili itself isn't inherently bad. In fact, capsaicin, the compound that gives chili its heat, has some anti-inflammatory properties. The problem arises when chili powder is part of a pre-mixed blend that contains additives, excess salt, and sometimes even artificial colorings. For older adults, who are more sensitive to sodium and digestive irritants, these blends can become a hidden source of inflammation. Too much sodium raises blood pressure and stresses the cardiovascular system, while preservatives and anti-caking agents may irritate the gut lining. Some blends also contain refined sugars or monosodium glutamate, MSG, which can trigger inflammatory responses in sensitive individuals. Digestively, these blends may provoke acid reflux or heartburn, particularly in those with weakened lower esophageal sphincter control, a common issue past age 60. While mild discomfort might seem tolerable, repeated irritation of the gut lining can keep the body in a low-grade inflammatory state, accelerating issues such as joint stiffness, brain fog, and cardiovascular stress. The future-proof approach is to use single-ingredient chili powders or fresh chilies, avoiding processed blends. By doing this, you can still enjoy the flavor and even some of the anti-inflammatory effects of capsaicin without the inflammatory baggage of additives and excess sodium. 7. Black pepper in excess. Black pepper is one of the most common spices in the world, and in moderate amounts it has health benefits. The active compound, piperine, can enhance the absorption of nutrients like curcumin from turmeric and selenium. But the key word is moderation. Looking to the future, overuse of black pepper may be a hidden trigger of gut irritation and systemic inflammation for older adults. Excessive amounts of piperine can stimulate stomach acid production, leading to reflux, bloating, or gastritis in sensitive individuals. For people with existing conditions such as acid reflux or irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, black pepper may intensify symptoms. Chronic irritation of the gut lining can then trigger inflammatory pathways that spread beyond digestion, affecting the joints and cardiovascular system. Black pepper also interacts with certain medications, such as blood thinners and anti-inflammatories. By altering how the liver metabolizes drugs, excessive pepper can either intensify or reduce their effects, potentially leading to complications that increase inflammation or stress. This is particularly relevant for seniors who may take multiple prescriptions daily. The future-focused solution is to use black pepper sparingly as a seasoning enhancer, not as the main spice. Pairing small amounts of black pepper with anti-inflammatory foods like turmeric or olive oil helps maximize benefits while minimizing risks. Over the long term, a balanced use of pepper supports flavor without fueling unnecessary inflammation. 6. Nutmeg in excess. Nutmeg has been used for centuries as a warming spice, especially in baked goods, beverages, and festive recipes. In very small amounts, nutmeg can add depth and richness to food, and it does contain trace antioxidants. But when looking at the bigger picture, especially for people over 60, it becomes clear that nutmeg can quickly shift from helpful to harmful if consumed too often or in large quantities. The reason lies in its chemical composition. Nutmeg contains compounds such as myristicin and safrole. In very high doses, these compounds can act as toxins, overstimulating the nervous system and irritating the digestive tract. Even at moderate levels, frequent nutmeg use may stress the gut lining, leading to irritation, discomfort, and what doctors often call low-grade inflammation. Unlike acute inflammation, which is obvious and painful, this low-level irritation is subtle. It may present as bloating, heaviness after meals, or irregular digestion. Over months and years, however, it can contribute to wider systemic inflammation that affects joints, blood vessels, and even cognitive health. Another concern with nutmeg is context. It is rarely eaten on its own. Most people consume nutmeg as part of high-sugar, high-fat recipes such as pies, cookies, or holiday drinks. These foods themselves already drive inflammation by spiking blood sugar, burdening the liver, and contributing to weight gain. When nutmeg is layered on top, its compounds magnify the inflammatory load. For older adults, this combination can lead not just to digestive discomfort, but also to worsening circulation, blood sugar instability, and fatigue. It is important to note that nutmeg is not inherently dangerous in small amounts. The problem is overuse. The future-proof approach is to treat nutmeg as a garnish rather than a main seasoning. A small pinch in oatmeal, a light sprinkle over vegetables, or a dusting in a smoothie can give flavor without overwhelming the digestive system. But large, frequent doses, especially in processed desserts, should be avoided. By approaching nutmeg with moderation, you can enjoy its unique flavor while protecting your gut and reducing your risk of inflammation. 5. Curry powders with additives. Curry itself has a long history as a healing food. Traditional curries often contain turmeric, ginger, cumin, and coriander, all of which have anti-inflammatory properties. However, when curry is purchased as a ready-made powder in supermarkets, it is often a very different product than the traditional blends used for centuries. Commercial curry powders are frequently diluted with fillers, bulked up with salt, and preserved with chemical agents that may actually contribute to inflammation rather than reduce it. The first problem is excess sodium. Many packaged curry powders contain very high amounts of salt, sometimes as much as 30% of the blend by weight. For older adults, this hidden sodium intake can raise blood pressure, increase water retention, and strain the cardiovascular system. What should have been a healing meal can instead quietly undermine heart and kidney health. The second problem is artificial coloring and preservatives. To maintain brightness and extend shelf life, manufacturers often add dyes and chemical stabilizers. These additives have been linked in research to microbiome disruption, meaning they alter the balance of bacteria in the gut. An imbalanced microbiome produces more inflammatory signals, which may present as digestive discomfort, joint pain, or even fatigue. Another issue is potency. Turmeric, one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory spices, is often included in such small quantities in commercial curry powders that it provides little or no benefit. Worse, turmeric needs black pepper to activate its primary compound, curcumin, and many mass-produced curry powders exclude this key ingredient. As a result, what consumers think is an anti-inflammatory blend often has very little therapeutic value. The forward-looking solution is straightforward. Make your own curry spice mix at home. A simple combination of turmeric, cumin, coriander, ginger, and black pepper can be stored and used whenever needed. By preparing your own blend, you control both the quality and the proportions, ensuring that your curry is full of genuine anti-inflammatory power without excess salt, fillers, or preservatives. Now that you know which spices are harming you, let's reveal the 4 powerful spices that actually fight inflammation and protect your body. 4. Cinnamon. Cinnamon is more than just a warming spice for sweet treats. It is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory spices you can include in your daily diet. Historically used in both traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurveda, cinnamon has earned its reputation as a natural healer. Modern research confirms that cinnamon contains compounds such as cinnamaldehyde and polyphenol, which play a direct role in calming inflammation and protecting tissues from damage. For older adults, the anti-inflammatory properties of cinnamon are particularly valuable because they extend beyond digestion. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is often described as the fire within that accelerates aging. It doesn't always cause immediate pain, but over time it wears down blood vessels, stiffens joints, weakens the immune system, and even disrupts brain function. Cinnamon's compounds work to interrupt this process, calming inflammatory pathways and reducing oxidative stress that damages cells. From a digestive standpoint, cinnamon can help balance the gut microbiome. Studies show it has mild antimicrobial activity, which means it helps keep harmful bacteria and yeast from overgrowing without disrupting beneficial microbes. This balancing act makes the gut more resilient, reducing the risk of bloating, indigestion, and irregularity. Cinnamon also has a natural ability to stabilize blood sugar by slowing down the breakdown of carbohydrates. For older adults, this means less strain on the pancreas, more steady energy, and less inflammation caused by glucose spikes. Another benefit of cinnamon is circulation. By improving blood flow, cinnamon helps deliver nutrients and oxygen more efficiently throughout the body. This supports healing, joint health, and even cognitive performance. Taken together, these benefits make cinnamon a spice that not only soothes the gut, but also supports systemic anti-aging effects. The key to using cinnamon effectively in the future is moderation and quality. Ceylon cinnamon, sometimes called true cinnamon, contains lower levels of coumarin, a compound that can stress the liver in large amounts. Cassia cinnamon, the type most commonly sold in grocery stores, is still beneficial but should be used with caution in very high doses. A half teaspoon to a teaspoon per day, added to oatmeal, tea, or smoothies, is more than enough to gain benefits. Used consistently, cinnamon becomes a daily ally against the silent inflammation that drives aging. 3. Turmeric. Turmeric is often called the golden spice, and for good reason. It is one of the most widely studied anti-inflammatory foods in the world. Its bright yellow-orange color comes from curcumin, a powerful compound that directly interferes with inflammatory processes at the cellular level. Curcumin reduces the activity of molecules that signal inflammation, while also acting as a potent antioxidant that protects cells from free radical damage. For people over 60, turmeric is especially significant because it addresses multiple areas of age-related inflammation at once. In the gut, turmeric calms irritation of the intestinal lining, making digestion smoother and reducing symptoms like bloating, gas, and discomfort. By strengthening the gut barrier, it also helps prevent leaky gut syndrome, a condition where toxins escape into the bloodstream and trigger systemic inflammation. Turmeric's benefits extend to the joints as well. Arthritis and stiffness are some of the most common age-related complaints, and chronic inflammation is at the root of both. Regular use of turmeric has been shown to reduce joint pain and improve mobility, making it easier to stay active, an essential part of healthy aging. In addition, turmeric benefits the cardiovascular system. Inflammation in blood vessels contributes to plaque buildup and narrowing arteries. Curcumin helps keep these pathways clearer, supporting better circulation and reducing the risk of heart disease. The brain also benefits. Research suggests turmeric may protect against cognitive decline by reducing inflammation and oxidative stress in neural tissue. The future-proof way to use turmeric is to pair it with black pepper. Piperine, the active compound in pepper, increases curcumin absorption by up to 20 times, allowing the body to take full advantage of turmeric's healing potential. Cooking turmeric with healthy fats, such as olive oil or coconut oil, also improves its bioavailability. This means adding turmeric to soups, curries, teas, or even warm milk can be both soothing and effective. 2. Ginger. Ginger has been treasured for centuries across Asia, the Middle East, and beyond, not only for its sharp, warming flavor, but also for its remarkable healing qualities. When we look to the future of gut health and anti-aging nutrition, ginger stands out as one of the most versatile and dependable spices for controlling inflammation. The primary compounds in ginger, gingerols and showgales, act directly on inflammatory pathways in the body. They inhibit the production of pro-inflammatory molecules while also functioning as antioxidants that neutralize free radicals. For older adults, this is especially significant because oxidative stress and chronic inflammation are two of the fastest accelerators of aging. Ginger calms both, reducing the wear and tear that time can place on tissues, organs, and joints. From a digestive perspective, ginger is particularly valuable. It stimulates gastric motility, meaning it helps food move more smoothly through the stomach and intestines. This reduces bloating, constipation, and the discomfort of sluggish digestion, which are common as we age. It also protects the stomach lining from irritation, lowering the risk of gastritis and indigestion. In many cultures, ginger tea is given after heavy meals for exactly this reason. It soothes the gut while encouraging healthy digestion. But ginger's impact extends well beyond the gut. It improves circulation, reduces muscle soreness, and even helps regulate the gut-brain connection. Because the gut and nervous system communicate closely, a healthier gut can improve mood stability, memory, and even sleep quality. Ginger supports this connection by calming inflammation that would otherwise disrupt signals between the two. 1. Garlic. At the top of the list is garlic, one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory and gut-healing spices in existence. Known since ancient times as both food and medicine, garlic continues to prove itself as a cornerstone of longevity-focused diets. What sets garlic apart is its combination of prebiotic fiber, antioxidant compounds, and sulfur-based molecules that work together to calm inflammation at its root. Garlic contains inulin, a type of soluble fiber that nourishes beneficial gut bacteria. A healthy gut microbiome is one of the strongest defenses against chronic inflammation because friendly bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids that strengthen the gut lining and regulate immune responses. For older adults, whose microbial diversity often declines with age, garlic helps restore balance and resilience in the gut environment. The sulfur compounds in garlic, especially allicin, provide another layer of anti-inflammatory power. Allicin has been shown to reduce the production of inflammatory cytokines, while also fighting off harmful bacteria and fungi that can upset gut balance. This dual action, reducing inflammation while controlling harmful microbes, makes garlic one of the most comprehensive gut protective spices available. Garlic also benefits the cardiovascular system. By reducing blood pressure, improving circulation, and lowering cholesterol, it eases stress on the arteries. Since cardiovascular disease and chronic inflammation often develop hand in hand, garlic addresses both simultaneously. Beyond the heart, garlic supports immune function, helping the body fend off infections that can otherwise increase inflammation.